We ready?
Yes.
Okay. Bring it. All right, everyone, please be seated. Counsel, you may proceed.
Take home Jack Frost.
Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand and take the...
Do you swear and affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Please be seated.
State your name for the jury, please.
Yes, my name is James Frost, also known by Jack Frost,
How do you spell your last name?
F-R-O-S-T,
Where are you currently employed?
with the District Attorney's Office
In what capacity?
as an investigator.
In this circuit?
That's correct.
How long have you been an investigator in this circuit?
For about 2.5, 3 years,
Prior to this position, where were you employed?
with Liberty County Sheriff's Office
In what capacity?
as an investigator.
How long have you spent in law enforcement throughout your entire career?
Been in law enforcement for 25 years.
So let me direct your attention to Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Were you the on-call detective on that date?
I was.
And did you have occasion to be dispatched to a particular location?
I did.
Where was that?
It was off of Barrington Ferry Road on a dirt logging road.
And did you respond to that location?
I did.
And when you got there, what did you find?
There was a deceased female torso that was missing 2 legs and a head.
And where was that torso located? What county?
It was in Liberty County.
And are you familiar with that part of Liberty County?
I am.
How familiar are you?
Fairly familiar. It's pretty rural and planted pines and swamp area, and there's also a historical site not far from there.
Describe the weather conditions that day and the days leading up to that day.
It was kind of unseasonably cool for November for southeast Georgia. I believe the lows had gotten in like the 40s and 50s for a couple of nights up to the 2nd.
Did you manipulate that torso in any way whatsoever?
I did touch a piece of it when I was taking pictures, but other than that, it was not moved from its location.
So you were close enough to the torso that you were able to touch it.
That's correct.
Did you detect any odor?
Not really.
Who all was on the scene when you arrived?
There were several hunters in the roadway. Down with the deputy, it was Shane Martin and Brian Del Rio, and then there was Lieutenant Anthony Brown that was also on the scene in the setting up crime scene tape.
Do you recall about what time of day it was?
It was around 1650, which is 4 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m. is when the call came out.
What were the daylight conditions like?
It was dusk.
How long did you remain at the scene?
Until about 2 a.m. on the 3rd.
And while you were at the scene, attending the torso that had been found, was anything else found by any other person?
There was a black Husky tote and a Milwaukee brand knife that was discovered just at the entrance of the logging road where it met Barrington Ferry Road.
And were you present when the knife and the tote was discovered?
That's correct, I was.
I'm showing you what's been admitted as State's Exhibit number 2.7. You recognize this picture?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is that picture?
That's the Milwaukee brand knife.
Did you return to that same general area the following day, Saturday, December the 3rd?
I did.
For what purpose?
To look in the ditch lines, that logging road traveled for a mile or better back and made a loop back into Barrington Ferry Road, just to see if there was any other items that we could find and have the advantage of daylight.
Did you yourself find anything of interest?
I did not.
Was Philip McCallor present during the time you were there?
Not when I was there originally. Earlier in the day, he was not.
Later?
Yes,
Earlier?
sir. Later in the day.
And did he make a discovery?
He did.
And did you go to the location of where he made that discovery?
I did.
And when you got to that location, what did you observe?
That he had discovered a right leg in a wooded area as he went to a food plot to put out corn for hunting.
And what did you do after he discovered the right leg?
When I responded on scene, I contacted Agent Sains with GBI, advised him of the discovery, also contacted McIntosh County because we were in the McIntosh County jurisdiction at that time.
Now, when you were there the day before on December 2nd, do you recall having a conversation with Special Agent Sands?
In reference to?
Who was going to be the lead agency, who was going to assist?
Correct.
Do you recognize Agent Sands in the courtroom?
I do.
Where is he seated?
He's sitting right there, prosecution table in the middle.
And you, acting as a representative of the Liberty County Sheriff's Office, requested the GBI to do what?
For any type of investigative assistance and to become lead agency in the investigation.
Now, as you stood by the right leg found by Mr. McCallor, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, how long did you remain with that leg?
I would say probably I was on scene for maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours, best I can recall.
And you remained with the leg until what happened?
Until the county coroner arrived.
And what happened then?
He collected it and transported it to the morgue.
Did you then have occasion on Monday, December 5th, to return to that area?
I did.
For what purpose?
Agent Sands had organized a search with cadaver dogs for the area.
And did you participate in that search?
I did.
Did you find anything?
After the cadaver dogs had cleared the area where Philip McCallor had discovered the leg, the canine handlers advised that it was safe for us to walk through there without contaminating any scent trails or anything that they would be interested in. And we began just searching the grounds, walking through in a semi-grid pattern, found a disturbed area of dirt that appeared to be done by some type of tool consistent with a shovel mark.
And where was that disturbed area of dirt?
I believe the logging road was named Branson Place, and this was the food plot. It's like an improved road where they were where Philip McCallor was putting the corn out for the deer.
And that disturbed area of dirt was in what relationship to where the right leg had been found?
In like an approximation of feet or yards?
Yes.
I would say it's probably between 20 and 50 yards from where the leg was discovered.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness throughout his testimony?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 210A. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is that a picture of?
A picture of me pointing to the disturbed area on the ground.
I'm showing you now State's Exhibit number 210B.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a close-up image of the disturbed area on the ground.
And where do you see the disturbed area in that photograph?
In the middle where the dirt's overturned and on top of the pine straw and leaves.
Any items in there that appear to be cut or damaged?
There was some roots here in the middle that were cut.
Do they fairly and accurately depict the disturbed area of dirt as you've testified?
They do.
I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit 210A and 210B.
Any objection? No objection. They're both admitted.
Just to keep it simple, may the witness step down and publish these to the jury?
Yes, sir.
You'll come down here to Detective Frost. And we'll do it on both ends of the jury box. I'm showing you first State's Exhibit number 210. Describe for the jury what this picture shows.
That's me standing off the area. This was to the left here is where basically an improved trail, like a fire break that had been used several times for them to plant a food plot in. And that's the area of disturbed dirt that is overturned and sitting on top of the pine straw.
All right, here's State's Exhibit 210B.
And this is the area of disturbed dirt where this dirt is on top of the pine straw and leaves. And right here in the middle, there is a root that has been cut on one end that's kind of pried up, sticking out of the ground.
And if you do the same thing on the other end. Starting with 210A.
And again, you can see the dirt on top of the pine straw and stuff. It was sitting on top of the ground.
And 210B.
And kind of a ditch line here, and that's the piece of root right there.
Thank you. You have a seat. On the day, that same day, December 5th, 2022, were you present when the canines found an object?
Correct, I was.
And what object was that was found?
I believe it was the left leg.
Was there any damage to the foot on that leg?
There was a presence of insect and animal activity.
And what did you do with respect to the discovery of the leg?
I just responded to the location, waited on Special Agent Brett Dickerson to come. He was there with us as well.
And when Investigator Dickerson arrived, was the leg in the same condition as it was when you first observed it?
Yes, sir.
Was there a discovery made shortly after the left leg was discovered?
Yes, sir, there was.
And what was that?
A gray Sterilite brand container.
Did you see it?
I did.
Did you look inside of it?
I did.
What was inside?
There was a mixture of a brownish red liquid and leaf material.
Did you return to this same general area on Wednesday, December 7th, 2022?
I did.
For what purpose?
To conduct another search, follow-up search with one of the cadaver dogs. Their team had decided, after reviewing the locations they had traveled, any areas of interest that the dogs might have shown interest in a scent trail, for us to continue looking and also to look manually on the ground just by walking around for anything that might be of interest, any items of evidence.
Did you find anything?
I did.
What did you find?
A human head.
What led to the discovery of the head?
Driving down again, I believe the road's called Branson Place. It's not an official road. It's like a logging trail. Driving down, looking in the ditch line, it was getting dusk, and there was among the planted pines on the edge of the road, there's a live oak tree. And I was using that to kind of block the sun out of my eyes, and when I could look between that tree and another tree next to it, there appeared to be an area of disturbed dirt behind it that stood out from the rest, as it didn't have the same amount of leaf covering and stuff on it.
So I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.16. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is that a picture of?
That's a picture of my vehicle near the oak tree along with a yellow evidence marker by an area of disturbed dirt.
Who put that evidence marker there?
I did.
And what is the evidence marker depicting?
That's the location where the head was located.
And does this photograph fairly and accurately depict the scene as you found it that day?
It does.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.17. Do you recognize that picture?
I do.
What's that a picture of?
A picture of a human head.
Had it been touched or handled in any way at the time that photograph was taken?
Yes, sir. At the time this photograph was taken, we had tried to remove some of the loose dirt as it was kind of sandy, loose soil. And once we got to a point where the dirt wasn't freely falling off, we relocated it to a body bag.
I'm showing you now State's Exhibit 2.18 and ask if you can identify that.
I can.
What is it?
It's the same head.
Is it any different than the previous picture?
In this one, we opened the eyes to see the eye color.
And what color are those eyes?
In this picture, they're brown.
And can you recognize a nose and a mouth?
Not clearly, no, sir.
And does this photograph fairly and accurately depict the head that you found?
Yes, sir, it does.
So I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit 216, 217, and 218.
It is,
No objection, Judge.
well, you're all admitted.
And I would request at this time they be published to the jury via the system.
You may.
It's- All right, do you see anything on your monitor?
No, sir, I do not.
Give me just a minute, Mr. Gregg, it's gonna show up on the big TV. It'll be just a second.
That's fine. If you let me know when something appears on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm having to get Miss Tiffany because the big screen has to be unplugged in order for it not to show on.
Okay.
All right, sir, I have a picture.
All right. Describe for the jury what evidence exhibit number that is,
It is 2.16.
and describe what that photograph shows.
That is me standing off in the planted pines, facing back towards my vehicle on the roadway, and the yellow evidence marker in the foreground of disturbed dirt is the location where the head was discovered.
All right, if we can publish the next exhibit. Do you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
What exhibit number is that?
2.17.
What does it depict?
It is a human head with dirt.
The same head you testified that you discovered?
That's correct.
State's exhibit, the next exhibit, please. Do you see it on your screen?
Yes, sir, I do.
What's the exhibit number?
2.18.
And describe what the jurors are seeing.
The same human head, this time with the eyes a little bit more open to see the eye color.
All right, thank you. You may turn it off. Now, you worked in concert investigating this case with Investigator Sands.
That is correct.
And on May the 5th, 2023, were warrants obtained.
I'm not sure exactly the date, but that sounds close to the right around the time that warrants were secured
For what offense?
for murder.
And who was named as the suspect in that warrant?
James Kassotis, aka Nicholas Stark.
After that arrest warrant was obtained, was the defendant arrested?
He was.
Approximately how long after the warrants were obtained?
I believe it was May 12th. I believe was the day he was arrested. So just within a few days, maybe about a week.
And on May 13th, 2023, did you accompany Agent Sands to Lancaster, Pennsylvania?
I did.
What was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania?
Mr. Kassotis.
And where was he up there?
He was in the Lancaster State Prison.
Is that a pretrial detention facility or not?
They have a facility for that inside the prison.
And why did you and Agent Sands go to that location?
To attempt to conduct an interview with Mr. Kassotis.
When you met with the defendant, did you inform him of any rights?
They were advised to him by Agent Sands.
In your presence?
That's correct.
I'm showing you now what's marked in State's Exhibit 2.19. Can you identify that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
It's a waiver of rights form.
Pertaining to who?
Nicholas Killian James Stark.
And can you inform the jury what rights he was advised of before your interview took place?
Yes, sir. I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say can be used against me in a court of law. I have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with me while I am being questioned. If I cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent me before any questioning if I wish. I can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
Did he appear to understand those rights?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did he indicate whether or not he wished to waive those rights by signing that document?
He did.
Did he do that in your presence?
Yes, sir, he did.
And does this fairly and accurately, is this a copy of the Miranda form that you used to advise the defendant in this case of his Miranda warning rights?
Yes, sir.
And I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit 2.19.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It is admitted.
If you will, describe the area where this interview took place.
It was in a room inside the prison. There was a table, a couple of chairs, small window, and a couple of doors.
Was he allowed to be seated?
Yes, sir, he was.
Were you and Agent Sands sitting also?
Yes, sir, we were.
Was the defendant wearing handcuffs?
Not during that time, no, sir.
Did you or Agent Sands have weapons that were visible?
No, sir.
Did you ascertain his level of education?
Agent Sands did, yes, sir.
And what did he report was his highest level of education?
I believe he graduated as a Juris Doctorate.
An attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he appear to be injured in any way whatsoever?
He did not.
Did he appear to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs to any degree whatsoever?
No, sir, he did not.
Was there anything unusual about his appearance?
No, sir.
Was he cooperative?
He was.
Can you describe his demeanor?
He was very calm, even keeled. He didn't show a lot of emotion, just answered questions and was openly speaking with us.
Did he seem to be aware of the circumstances surrounding this interview?
Yes, sir.
When you spoke to him, were his answers to you and Agent Sands responsive to the questions that were being asked?
Yes, sir, they were.
At any time did he invoke his right to remain silent?
No, sir, he did not.
At any time did he invoke his right to speak only with an attorney present?
No, sir, he did not.
Was there any offer of hope, of reward, or benefit in exchange for him giving a statement?
No, sir, it was not.
Was he promised any leniency in treatment if he gave a statement?
No, sir, he was not.
Was he threatened or coerced in any way whatsoever to give a statement?
No, sir, he was not.
And was this interview recorded?
It was.
How?
Audio recording.
There's no video of this interview?
No, sir.
For how long did the defendant stay in the state of Pennsylvania?
I believe he was there for a period of at least 2 weeks. I believe when he came back to Georgia was May 26th.
All right, before I move on to that, I'm showing you now State's Exhibit number 2.20. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is that?
It's a Georgia Bureau of Investigation waiver of constitutional rights to search warrant of a person.
And what does that seek to obtain?
On here, it's requesting a saliva sample,
And what was the date?
5/13 of 23.
And was the defendant requested to provide a sample of his saliva?
Yes, sir, it was.
And did he agree to do that?
He did.
Were there any threats or promises?
No, sir, there was not.
Did he appear to freely and voluntarily consent to the seizure of the sample of his saliva?
Yes, sir, he did.
And was that sample obtained in your presence?
It was obtained in my presence, yes, sir.
In the State's Exhibit number 2.20, a fair and accurate copy of the original consent form?
Yes, sir, it is.
I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit number 2.20.
All right, it's admitted.
And the date on this form is what?
5/13 of 23.
So that's when you were still up in Pennsylvania.
Correct.
Sometime later, the defendant was returned to the state of Georgia, is that correct?
That's correct.
On about May 26, 2023, did you come in contact with the defendant here in Liberty County?
Yes, sir, I did.
For what purpose?
To conduct a follow-up interview.
I'm showing you now what's marked the State's Exhibit number 2.21 and ask if you can identify that.
Yes, sir.
What's that a picture of?
Mr. Kassotis.
Is that how he appeared on May 26, 2023?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of the way he appeared that day?
Yes, sir, it is.
I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit number 2.21.
No objection, Your Honor. It is admitted.
Why did you come in contact with him again on May 26th?
To conduct a follow-up interview.
Were you alone or with anyone?
I was with Special Agent Sands again.
And before that interview took place, did you advise the defendant of any rights
Special Agent Sands did again, yes, sir.
in your presence?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit 2.22. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is that?
It's a waiver of rights form.
And can you inform the jury what rights he was advised of prior to that interview taking place?
Yes, sir. I have the right to remain silent, Anything I say can be used against me in a court of law. I have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with me while being questioned. If I cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent me before any questioning if I wish. I can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statement.
Did he appear to understand those rights as he was being informed?
Yes, sir, he did.
Did he indicate on that form whether he agreed to waive those rights?
He did.
How did he indicate that?
He signed.
In your presence?
Yes, sir.
I can't remember, is this tendered already or not? 222. Is it a fair and accurate copy of the original Miranda warning rights as given by Agent Sands to the defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
I'll tender State's Exhibit 2.22. Where did that interview take place?
At the Liberty County Jail in the CID building in an interview room.
Can you describe the area where the interview took place?
Yes, sir. It's a room with a table and a couple of chairs in it.
Was the defendant allowed to be seated?
Yes, sir, he was.
Were you and Agent Sands seated?
Yes, sir, we were.
Did he appear to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
He did not.
Did he appear to be injured in any way whatsoever?
He did not.
Did you or Agent Sands have weapons that were visible?
On that day, I cannot recall if we had our weapons out of the holsters and put up, or our holsters were just present or not.
They were never removed from holsters?
No, sir, not in the room.
Was there anything unusual about his appearance or his behavior?
No, sir.
Was he cooperative?
He was.
Can you describe his demeanor during that interview?
Very calm, unemotional, and responsive to question.
Did he seem to be aware of his surroundings?
He did.
Did he seem to understand what was happening?
Yes, sir.
When you spoke to him and Agent Sands spoke to him, were his answers responsive to the questions?
Yes, sir, they were.
At any time did he invoke his right to remain silent?
No, sir, I did not.
At any time did he invoke his right to speak only with an attorney being present?
No, sir, he did not.
Was he offered any hope of reward or benefit in exchange for making a statement?
No, sir, he was not.
Was he promised any lenient treatment in exchange for him making a statement?
No, sir, he was not.
Was he threatened or coerced in any way whatsoever?
No, sir, he was not.
And was this interview recorded?
Yes, sir, it was.
How was it recorded?
Both audio and video recorded.
At this time, the state is tendering a number of certified with the business records. And they come with a certificate of authenticity. They've been shown to Mr. Weinstein. And I'm moving to admit at this time State's Exhibit number 2.26A and 2.26B, 2.26C, 2.23, 2.24, 2.25, 2.25A, and 2.25B.
Any objection?
Can I just say this
Yes, sir.
before we move in?
Sure.
Thank No objection, Your Honor.
All right, the exhibits are admitted without objection.
Before we get into the exhibits, can you describe for the jury what investigative steps were taken to try to develop a lead as to who the offender was?
We looked at the evidence that we had. I knew from just personal experience shopping and from a previous case dealing with Home Depot loss prevention, Milwaukee brand and Husky brands were ones that were sold at those stores. So I had the SKU number was still on the Husky box. So I took that SKU and a picture of the knife and sent it to loss prevention for Home Depot and requested any purchases in the area of the last couple of months of a combination of those two items with other items or just with that items individually.
And when you're talking about the knife, you're referring to the knife as depicted in State's Exhibit 2.7?
That's correct.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.25. Can you identify what that is?
It's a business records affidavit.
Attached to what?
Attached to a response with a list of sales of items and customer information.
Was that based on an inquiry you made with Home Depot?
That is correct.
And what does that item, that business record, show?
It shows purchases of the Milwaukee knife.
Does it identify the purchaser?
Yes, sir, it does.
By what name?
Just by name.
And what name is on that document? Is there more than one name?
There is.
Is the defendant's name on that document?
Yes, sir, it is.
And it indicates what?
Nicholas Kassotis.
Does it? Go ahead.
Gives a date, 11/29 of 2022. Gives a time of 8:56 a.m. and gives a store number of 170, a registration number, transaction type, and the tender type, and the amount paid.
All right, I'm showing you at this time what's marked as State's Exhibit 2.23. Can you identify that document?
Yes, sir. It's also the business records affidavit
From what business?
from Home Depot.
And what does Exhibit 2.23 show?
It is a Home Depot receipt for August 16th of 2022.
For a purchase of what?
It has Clorox paper towel wipes, Gorilla Glue, reusable latex gloves, scented cinnamon broom, caulkbacker, folding razors, and a putty knife and a Coke Zero.
Let's go back to that last Home Depot business record, State's Exhibit number 225. I'm showing you now what's marked as State's number 2.26. Can you identify that?
Yes, sir. The top one is the business records affidavit from Home Depot.
And what is attached?
Spreadsheet with the purchases of the knife from customers from period of October to December from stores on the I-95 corridor from Brunswick to Charleston.
And on that document is the defendant's name. Does it appear?
Yes, sir, it does. This document here, I'm sorry, is actually the list of items he purchased that Nicholas Kassotis purchased from Home Depot.
On what date?
It has a date range of August 6th through December 29th on this.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's 2.26. Can you identify that?
That appears to be the same form.
Okay. Just in a different format.
Correct.
Showing you now what's marked as states 2.26. Can you identify that?
Yes, sir. Also the business records affidavit for Home Depot. And it is a receipt for November 29, 2022 for a Milwaukee smooth blade insulation knife.
That's that same orange handle knife that has been referred to earlier.
Correct. It also has an image on it as well.
And the image was taken from where?
From Home Depot.
Surveillance video?
Correct. Would you like all these?
Yes. Do you recognize the person who's depicted in this surveillance video attached to that exhibit?
Yes, sir. It's Mr. Kassotis.
Do you see anything under his arm?
It appears to be a Milwaukee knife.
I'm showing you now what's marked as states of 2.23. Can you identify that?
Yes, sir. It's a business records affidavit, also from Home Depot.
And what does that record show?
It shows purchases, the ones I read earlier, 75 count Clorox towel wipes, Gorilla super glue, latex gloves, cinnamon broom, caulkbecker, folding utility knife, flexible putty knife, and a Coke Zero.
And on what date were those items purchased?
That was purchased August 16th of 2022.
At what store?
That would be the 1901 East Victory Drive in Savannah, Georgia.
I'm showing you now what's marked states exhibit number 2.24. Can you identify that?
Yes, sir. The business records affidavit from Home Depot.
And what does it show?
Shows a purchase date of November 4th, 2022 at the 11180 Abercorn Street Extension, Savannah, Georgia store. And it shows an anvil D-handle digging shovel and another item, fiberglass hammer, 20-ounce fiberglass hammer.
And the date of that purchase?
Was November 4th,
In which
2022.
Which store?
It's 11180 Abercorn Street, Savannah, Georgia. Also an image attached to it.
What is the image?
Appears to be Mr. Kassotis walking out of the store with a shovel.
That's taken from the surveillance system of that store?
That's correct.
And of course, for the jury's benefit, they will have all of these items submitted as evidence out with them in the jury deliberation room. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now what's marked as states exhibit number 2.25A. Do you recognize that?
It's a state of Missouri, the County of Greene business records affidavit.
What does it depict?
Custodian records for Bass Pro. And there's a receipt attached to it, but the print's too small to make out.
And has that print been enlarged in states exhibit number 2.25B?
That is consistent with the format, yes, sir.
And what does that show?
It shows a purchase from the Savannah store on November 28, 2022. And it's a Pursuit 7-piece knife set.
And based on learning that that 7-piece knife set had been purchased from Bass Pro, what, if anything, did you do?
I requested a copy of this and any other information that had reference to this purchase. And I was also requested to go and buy one of the 7-piece knife kits.
Did you?
Yes, sir, I did.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.25C. Do you recognize that?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
That's my handwriting on the evidence bag.
And what's inside that evidence bag?
The 7-piece knife kit.
And when you placed it in that bag, was the bag sealed by you?
Yes, sir, it was.
Was the knife set in a new condition when you placed it in the bag?
Yes, sir, it was.
Had it ever been used by you?
No, sir, it had not.
At this time, would you unseal that bag in the presence of the jury? You just removed the box. Describe that box.
It's got orange writing, white writing, got a picture of 4 different knives, a sharpener, a nylon carry bag, and a saw.
And are those knives inside that box?
It feels like it has some contents in it.
Okay. Does the box appear to be in the same or similar condition as when you packaged it?
Yes, sir, it does.
I'll tender at this time the State's Exhibit number 2.25C. During the course of your investigation, did you research the recall history of the defendant's 2022 Ford Explorer?
I did.
Did you have access to that vehicle purchase information?
I did.
Did you have access to the VIN on that vehicle?
I did.
And were you able to search for recalls using that unique VIN?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what was the result of your research?
The only recall I could locate was one for a rear bolt failure that would cause a vehicle to roll out apart.
And how recently did you perform that search?
Just last night.
Did you find any evidence of recalls for engine fires for that vehicle?
No, sir, I did not.
I think there's a matter we need to take up outside the presence of the jury briefly.
Okay. Are you asking that they be excused, or can we handle this?
They need to be excused.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please step out just a minute. All right, everyone, please be seated. Yes, sir, Mr. McCollum.
So this will be simpler than I anticipated. Mr. Hershey yesterday was asked about a vehicle recall. He was asked, are you familiar that in August of 2024, Ford recalled 85,000 Ford Explorer SUVs for engine fires over the period of manufacture from 2020 to 2022? My intent was to tender this State's Exhibit number 2.52 that we obtained from the internet. I believe that's where the information came from. And it's my understanding that Mr. Weinstein will not object to me tendering this as an exhibit.
And just to clarify, I don't recall exactly where that information came from that I got yesterday, but I do not object to the state tendering this exhibit.
All right, then, problem solved.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Where's the,
Can you step out and ask him?
yeah, if you would, go ahead and ask him to come back in. That's what you need. All right, everyone, please be seated. Counsel, you may continue.
While the jury is in the courtroom, the state will tender to exhibit 2.52.
6.52, I understand there's no objection.
No objection.
All right, it's admitted without objection.
I'm showing this to you, Detective Frost, exhibit 2.52. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Where did that come from?
It's a screenshot from my computer.
Would you read the contents of that to the jury, please?
Ford Motor Company, August 16th, Reuters. Ford Motor Company is recalling about 85,000 Explorer SUVs equipped with the Police Interceptor utility package over concerns of an engine fire, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said Friday. In the event of a motor failure, oil and fuel may be released into the engine compartment and accumulate near ignition sources, possibly resulting in fire, the regulator said. There's also a blurb for stay up to date, latest news trends. That's just Reuters. The recall affects SUVs from model years 2020 to 2022, equipped with a 3.3 liter hybrid and gasoline engines.
So you have the purchase documents of the vehicle that was sold to the defendant in this case. Is
They're in
that
the
correct?
file. Yes, sir.
Did that vehicle purchased by this defendant have a police interceptor package?
Not according to the bill of sale, no, sir.
Did it have a 3.3 liter hybrid engine?
No, sir, it did not.
That's all the questions I have.
All right, Mr. Lansing.
Good morning, Investigator Frost.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Doug Weinstein. I represent Mr. Kassotis,
Yes, sir.
as I'm sure you well know.
Dude.
So I understand that you are employed by the folks at this table, right? You're
That-
employed by the DA's office right now?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. But you formerly were with the Liberty County Sheriff's Office.
That is correct, sir.
At the time you were doing this investigation, were you with the Liberty County Sheriff's Office then?
I was. Yes,
And then
sir.
you, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish the question,
Yes, sir, I was.
finish the answer. And then you subsequently became employed with the DA's office, which is where you're working right now, correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right. Let me ask you about that Milwaukee knife that you found at the scene. Now, you mentioned Mr. Kassotis purchasing a Milwaukee knife at Home Depot, correct?
That's correct.
And it was the same model knife, right?
Correct.
But you have no way of knowing if that is the same knife, correct?
That is correct.
As far as you know, it could be a completely different knife.
That is correct.
And because of a previous investigation, I guess you'd been a part of, you went to Home Depot looking for that Milwaukee knife, correct?
That is correct.
Did you go to City Electric Supply looking for that knife?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Savannah Rubber Conveyor looking for that knife?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Ferguson Enterprises to look for that knife?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Whitecap to look for that knife?
No, sir, I did not.
What about LGG Industrial?
No, sir, I did not.
Savannah Wire and Electric?
No, sir, I did not.
Berwick Ace Hardware?
No, sir, I did not.
None of those places.
No, sir, I did not.
Well, what about Train Technologies?
No, sir, I did not.
United Refrigeration?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Triple J Mechanical?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Sandpiper Supply?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you go to Johnstone Supply?
No, sir, I did not.
Contractors Depot?
No, sir, I did not.
Motion Industrial?
No, sir, I did not.
Gray Bar Electric?
No, sir, I did not.
The Krager Company?
No, sir, I did not.
Savannah Tool House?
No, sir, I did not.
Can't read my own writing, I'm sorry. Did you go to Granger?
No, sir, I did not.
Southern Pipe and Supply?
No, sir, I did not.
Baker Distributing?
No, sir, I did not.
U.S. Tool Group in Garden,
No, sir,
Georgia?
no, sir, I did not.
Southside Ace?
No, sir, I did not.
Triple J Mechanical?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you do a search online, or did you do any kind of search to see who else other than Home Depot was a distributor for Milwaukee Tools?
I did.
And what did you find when you
The
looked
knife
online?
was commonly sold at other places as well.
But you searched in none of those other places, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Why didn't you search in those other places?
The only reason why I searched at Home Depot first and only was because of the combination of that being found next to the Husky tote, and I knew Husky was also a brand that Home Depot carried.
Okay, but you had no interest in checking out any of those other places where that Milwaukee tool could have been sold?
I did.
You mentioned that you were present in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on May the 13th, 2023, during that initial interview with Mr. Kassotis.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And you said that Mr. Kassotis was calm, correct?
That's correct.
He was even-keeled, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you said he openly discussed the case with you.
That's correct.
And he was responsive to all your questions.
Yes, sir, he was.
He didn't invoke his rights under the Constitution, correct?
Correct.
But he's a lawyer. He was aware of those rights. He was aware he did not have to speak to you, correct?
That's correct.
And yet he still talked to you about this case.
Yes, sir, he did.
On May the 26th here in Georgia, when he got down here, again, you were present when he was being interviewed or interrogated then, correct?
That's correct.
And then again, he was calm, right?
That's correct.
And he was cooperative, correct?
That's correct.
And he was responsive.
Correct.
He still had his law degree then, right? So he was still a lawyer.
To my knowledge, that's correct.
You made him aware of his constitutional rights, so you testified, right?
That was Agent Sands, but yes, sir, I was present for it.
And I certainly hope as a lawyer that he was aware of those rights. And again, you knew he was a lawyer, correct?
To my knowledge, yes, sir, he was.
Okay. Yet he still discussed the case with you.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you own a car?
I do.
Have you ever had have any of your cars or trucks ever been subject to recall?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So, and you may or may not be familiar with this, but you know, recalls, they sometimes spread. They'll start out with a small recall, and then over time, more and more vehicles will get recalled, correct?
I'm unaware how they work, sir.
You know, for example, do you recall the Takeda airbag recall from years ago?
I've heard of it, yes, sir.
You know, that was a Marietta lawyer that got that started, but that aside, that began in 2006. I don't know if you remember the exact year, but you recall it was some time ago, right?
Yes, sir.
And are you aware that, for example, on the Takeda airbag recall, that over time, more and more and more vehicles were recalled? Do you remember reading about that?
I believe I heard it was quite a number of vehicles that were recalled.
Okay. So it's not unusual that recalls can spread over time from the initial recall, correct?
Correct.
Begging the court's indulgence.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me, one last question, then I'll let you go, or at least I will. The purchase of the shovel, when was that again?
Without looking at the receipt, best of my recollection, it was November 4th, 2022.
So November 4th, 2022. And how far in advance of that, how far in advance of finding Mindi Kassotis was November 4th, 2022?
We discovered her on December 2nd, 2022.
Okay. So
Almost.
roughly, can I say approximately a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a shovel?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you purchase it?
I did.
Okay. I've got no more questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no question.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step down. Yes, sir.
Call Ms. Hanson.
Ms. Hanson. All right. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and face the clerk over here.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please have a seat.
You're going to need to speak up so the jury can hear you. That's a microphone that's just in front of you. If you can place your mouth close to the microphone. Would you state your name and spell it?
Vaishnavi Khare,
How do you spell your first name?
Vaishnavi, Khare,
How do you spell that?
Khare.
Did you have a different last name a
Yes.
while ago?
I just got divorced a few months ago, so
What-
it was Hansen.
Spell Hansen.
Hansen.
And do you live in this area?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
I'm currently staying in Tybee Island, Georgia.
Do you operate an Airbnb business, or did you?
Yes.
When did you operate that business?
I started in July 2021.
Do you own property in Chatham County?
Yes.
Related to that business?
Yes.
Where do you own that property?
I have one in Savannah and one in Tybee Island.
What about the one in Savannah? Where is it located?
The address is 311 East 65th Street.
I'm showing you a photograph. Mark States Exhibit number 2.27. Do you recognize that picture?
Yes, that's my address.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the house at that location?
Yes.
I'll tender it this time. States Exhibit number 2.27. No.
It's admitted.
Insofar as your business is concerned, do you rent this house to people?
Yes.
When you rent it, is the house furnished?
Yes.
Do you recall that property being rented on or about June 30th, 2022?
Yes.
And who was the renter?
Nicholas Kassotis.
Okay. And at the time he rented that property, was the house furnished?
Yes.
Can you describe for the jury what the house looks like? How many bedrooms?
It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and it has a yard with a tree, and you can come in from the front and at the back.
What's in the backyard?
It's just a backyard, and then there's a small shed and a gate that leads to a small lane.
What is in the shed?
I mean, there used to be tools, but there's nothing right now.
During the period of time that Mr. Kassotis was renting there, what was in the shed?
There were just tools.
What kind of tools?
I don't really know all the tools, like hammer and like a screwdriver and like a saw maybe.
During the period of time that he was renting your house, were others staying there also?
No.
How do you know that?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know that.
Do you know or not know whether other people were staying there?
So the place was booked for 4 adults. So I just Nicholas's photo was on it, and I don't know the other 3 adults that were staying there, that were booked.
Did he ever make reference to a wife
Yes.
and whether or not she was pregnant?
Yes.
And what did he indicate to you was the condition of his wife?
He didn't indicate any condition. He just said that that they're expecting, I think, something on that.
Expecting a child?
Yeah, something on that basis. I don't know if it was expecting a child or something else, but in those lines.
How many times did you meet with Mr. Kassotis in person?
I met him one time. This was during a Hindu festival called Diwali, because I usually put a light. It's supposed to be for good luck. So I had contacted him to basically put a light in the house if he would oblige, or like, and he agreed upon it. So me and my ex-husband at that time went to the house and handed him a candle, and outside the house. We didn't go inside because he met us outside, and I gave it to him.
Would you recognize Mr. Kassotis if you saw him again?
Yes.
Do you see him in the courtroom?
Yes.
Would you point to him?
He's sitting over there.
If you'd let the record reflect, she's indicated defendant seated at the defense table.
And it does.
Do you recall how long he rented that property?
About 3 months.
Do you recall from memory his move-out date?
I think sometime in November or December.
Did he move sooner than his anticipated move-out date?
Yes,
Did he notify you of that?
yes,
And when tenants move out, in particular, when Mr. Kassotis moved out, did you go to the house and inspect it?
yes.
What condition did you find the house in?
It was left very clean.
Pardon me?
It was very clean.
Cleaner more than normal when tenants move out of a property?
Yeah, it was very clean.
Did you look in the backyard?
Yeah,
Was there any evidence of digging in the backyard?
no,
Any evidence of digging in the front yard?
no.
Did you discover anything missing when you inspected the house?
Yes,
What was that?
it was a rug. I had a rug and it was replaced by another rug.
Describe where that rug was, the rug that you noticed was missing.
So the house, it's
Talk into the microphone.
sorry. The house has like a living area with the TV next to the kitchen, and the rug was there that leads up to the backyard.
Okay. Now, when you're advertising this property for rent, do you put profile pictures on the internet ads?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.43. You recognize this picture?
Yes, that's the rug that was missing.
Okay. And does this picture fairly and accurately depict the living area of your house as well as the rug that's in front of the TV?
Yes.
Well, I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit number 2.43.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is admitted.
Describe this rug for the jury.
It's a soft, colorful, regular rug. I think 5 by 7 size.
And the rug is right in front of the TV. Is that not, I'm asking you, is it in front of the TV?
Oh yeah.
Now, initially, when you went to the property after Mr. Kassotis moved out, did you immediately recognize this rug was missing?
Yes.
And what was in its place?
It was another rug that was like a cheaper rug and a smaller rug instead.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State's Exhibit number 2.44. Do you recognize this picture?
Yes.
And what is this a picture of?
The replacement rug, I think.
What's that picture? This rug here.
I think it's a replacement rug. Yeah.
So this is not the rug that you had when you rented the place?
No. No.
Does this fairly and accurately depict the rug that was left after he moved out?
Correct. Yes.
I'll tender at this time State's Exhibit number 2.44.
No objection. It's admitted.
So would you describe the pattern on these two rugs as similar?
Yeah, but you can see this. They're not the same.
That's all the questions I have.
Mr. Weinstein?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Doug Weinstein. I represent Mr. Kassotis in this case. And I'm sorry that I did not catch this. Is your last name no longer Hansen?
Correct.
What's your last name presently?
Khare, Khare.
Kari?
Yes.
Am I saying that right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Kari, do you recall being interviewed by agents
Yes.
in I think May of 2023?
Yes.
And during that interview, you told the agents that Mr. Kassotis never bothered you, correct?
Yeah.
You told the agents that Mr. Kassotis was a good tenant.
Correct.
You told the agent that you had no issues with payments from Mr. Kassotis,
Correct.
that Mr. Kassotis always paid on time.
Correct.
You told agents that he was a very good tenant,
Mm-hmm.
and you told agents that he was very professional, correct?
Correct.
In addition, you told the agents that when you got the home back from Mr. Kassotis, and I guess you inspected it. Do you normally inspect when you get a home back?
Yes.
So did you do an inspection this time
Yes.
with regard to Mr. Kassotis leaving the Airbnb?
Yes.
You said that there was no overpowering smell of bleach. You recall saying that?
Yes.
And also that there was no smell of cleaners, correct?
Yes.
You also told the agents there were no stains on fabrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or on furniture.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned something else that didn't come up in the direct exam today. Did you notice that the lock on the front door was completely broken?
I don't remember.
Do you recall telling them that the lock on the front door was completely broken?
I don't remember that now.
Okay. Regarding the rug being replaced, can I ask you about that? When you have tenants, and how long have you had Airbnbs?
So I had this one, and then before that, I took a break because I had a baby. So I had before that in Hawaii. So I don't know, like 10 years, relatively.
Sometimes do items in the Airbnbs go missing?
Correct.
Sometimes are they damaged?
Yes.
Occasionally will a tenant damage something and replace it with something else?
Never. Not usually.
But occasionally there are things that are damaged within the Airbnbs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr.
No.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You are free to go. All right. Our next witness, please.
Sorry, Judge.
No problem.
The state calls Tara Ransom.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I just wanted to check. Can you please tell the court reporter your full name and how you spell it?
My name is Tara Ransom. That's spelled T-A-R-A-R-A-N-S-O-M.
Ms. Ransom, there have been some other representatives from the crime laboratory who have already testified, so I'm going to try to not do the same questions more than once. So I'll try to keep them confined to your qualifications, okay? Can you tell us where you work?
I'm employed by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation at the Coastal Regional Crime Laboratory in Pooler, Georgia.
And how long have you worked there?
I've been employed with the GBI since February 1st of 2010, so approximately 15 and a half years now.
And what is your occupation at the GBI Crime Lab?
I am a forensic biologist. My job involves examining evidence for the presence of biological fluids, developing any DNA profiles that are present, and interpreting the results.
And have you always held that same position while at the crime lab?
I have.
Have you always worked at the one in this region at the Coastal Crime Laboratory in Pooler?
Yes.
So that entire experience was at the same facility?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury your educational background concerning that position?
I graduated from Eastern Washington University with a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry and Biochemistry with an emphasis in Forensic Science. I graduated from the University of Florida with a Master's of Science in Pharmacology with an emphasis in Forensic DNA and Serology. I completed an in-house training program with the GBI. The in-house training program involved processing mock samples, doing literature review, and taking both written and oral examinations. I am also certified by the American Board of Criminalistics. This is an independent agency that certifies forensic scientists.
And did you get that training prior to starting as a forensic biologist and DNA analyst at the crime laboratory?
I was hired as a forensic biologist and received on-the-job training before entering into casework.
Okay. And do you continue to do trainings while you maintain your position?
Yes, we do yearly continuing education.
And is that in addition to peer review and counseled sessions with supervisors?
Yes.
So that would be, you do both of those things?
Correct.
Thank you. And have you received any withdrawn? Can you describe your primary roles as a forensic biologist and analyst in what you specifically do at the crime lab?
As I said, as a forensic biologist, my job involves examining evidence for the presence of biological fluids. If biological fluids are present, then I send the case forward for DNA testing.
And do you sometimes do that DNA testing yourself?
Yes.
And what types of fluids do you generally work with?
At the GBI Crime Lab, we test for blood, semen, and saliva.
Are you trained in preserving and handling biological samples?
Yes.
How did you receive that training?
The training was part of that in-house training that we did and that we had to pass before entering into independent casework.
And are there protocols or guidelines in place that are regularly updated to ensure that you stay current with being able to properly handle those specimens?
Yes, we take a competency test before entering into casework to ensure that we are doing all procedures correctly. We also do proficiency tests twice a year in order to ensure that we are continuing to maintain our competency in the field.
What about the instruments at the lab that you use? Are there any specialized tests to ensure that they're properly calibrated and working accurately?
Yes, all instruments undergo regular maintenance and testing to ensure that they are working correctly before they're put into use.
And the crime laboratory in Pooler, the Coastal Crime Lab, was that accredited when you were working there on this case?
Yes,
Is it still accredited today?
yes,
Do you engage in quality assurance and quality control procedures in the laboratory concerning your cases still to this day?
yes,
And were those procedures in place when you were engaged in this case?
yes,
We've talked some about how to ensure that a biological sample was ripe or appropriate for testing. If you were to receive a sample that was not in a condition that was appropriate for testing, what would you do?
Could you clarify your question, please?
Sure. If you found that a sample was insufficient, meaning there wasn't enough of a sample to analyze, how would you document that?
So all samples are tested in order to determine whether or not there is a sufficient amount of either bodily fluid or DNA present. So within our reporting results, you would see a result saying that either it indicated a biological fluid, it failed to reveal a biological fluid, or it was inconclusive for the presence of a biological fluid.
Is that something you can tell with the naked eye?
No.
Is that something you actually test then to determine?
Yes.
Okay, so if a sample were to arrive at the laboratory in a condition that the chain of custody appeared to be intact, would you then conduct that test?
Yes.
If the chain of custody did not appear to be intact, what would you do?
I cannot testify to an item's chain of custody prior to it coming into the lab. When an item enters the lab, we examine it in order to determine, is the packaging sealed? Does it appear that it has been tampered with in any way? As long as the item is sealed and does not appear to be tampered with, then we proceed with testing, regardless of what the chain of custody was prior to that moment in time.
What I'm asking is if something came to you and it looked like it wasn't properly sealed or it didn't have the correct markings, what would you do in that case?
We would attempt to rectify the situation, whether it was that it needed a seal. We'd reach out to the agency and have them come back in and relabel an item or repackage it and reseal it to meet our standards.
And in this case, there weren't any problems with the receipt of the materials, correct?
Correct.
As a result, were you asked to perform some analysis in conjunction with samples received for this case?
Yes.
Before I get there, have you ever testified before as an expert?
Yes.
And approximately how many times have you testified?
I've testified over 100 times.
And in what fields?
I've testified in forensic biology, so body fluid identification and DNA testing.
Okay. And how many times you said? About 100?
A little over 100 times.
Okay. Is that here in the state of Georgia?
Within the state of Georgia and one time in North Carolina.
Okay. And have you ever been denied status as an expert in the field of forensic biology or DNA analysis?
No.
At this time, Your Honor, I would seek to tender Ms. Ransom as an expert in the field of forensic biology and DNA analysis.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, then she's so qualified, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, with connection with this case, you indicated that you had reviewed certain materials. Is that right?
Correct.
And can you tell the jury, did you prepare reports in conjunction with those analyses that you performed?
I did.
This would just be the little markers, the big ones are not.
It doesn't matter. Thank you. I'm showing, Your Honor, one moment. Madam Clerk, what number are we up to? Your Honor, I'm showing counsel exhibits marked 1.72, 73, and 74, which which he has previously received, but just so he knows what I'm referring to.
What were those numbers again, please?
1.72, 7.3, and 7.4. Would it be fair to say that you handled various steps in the process of your analysis?
Yes.
Okay. And during the course of analysis of a DNA sample, I'm going to show you the physical reports that I have and the materials. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll start first with your reports. I'm showing you 1.7, 2, 3, and 4. Do you recognize those reports?
Yes, these are the 2 blood examination reports and 1 DNA typing report that I issued for this case.
What's the difference between DNA typing and the secondary report you just referred to?
The blood examination reports were issued prior to the DNA typing report. During that testing, I examined evidence items for the presence of blood, and if they indicated the presence of blood, then I sent them forward for DNA testing. So then a DNA typing report was issued.
If you had not found blood, what would have been your course of action?
If blood was not found, then a blood examination report would have been issued stating that the evidence items failed to reveal the presence of blood, and no DNA testing would have been performed.
Would that have concluded your testing at that stage then?
Yes.
So when I was talking about steps, did the testing reveal the presence of blood and ultimately require you to pass that along for a secondary set of tests?
Yes, the blood examination reports did indicate the need for a DNA testing report.
Okay. And I'm going to go through these samples with you, so my apologies while I affix stickers to these. I'm going to ask you to also tell us if those reports that are in your hand, can you tell if those are the reports that you yourself generated?
Yes, they are.
How can you tell?
The reports have the DOFS case number, Department of Forensic Science case number, that was issued for this case, as well as my signature block, and the date that I had issued these reports.
Are those a duplicate of the original reports that were generated by you?
Yes, they are.
And are there any changes to them, or are those the actual reports you created?
These are the actual reports.
Your Honor, I would seek to tender those exhibits being 1.72, 1.73, and 1.74.
No objection. They are deleted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And now, with respect to the samples themselves, can you explain to the jury what a cutting is?
Cutting is generally cutting from a larger piece of fabric, such as clothing, a sheet, any sort of fabric that was submitted into the lab for testing.
And other than for a buccal swab, can you tell the jury what a swabbing refers to when it's not referencing a cheek sample?
So a swabbing is simply a cotton swab that was used to sample any sort of presumed biological fluid from a scene.
Then how would you get that off of a dried substance, for example?
Generally, the way the swabs are collected is that the swab is wet down with sterile water and then applied to the dried stain.
And do you then literally swab to collect some of that sample?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm now going to show you what has been marked as states 1.75, 76, 77, 78. I'm also handing her 1.80, 81, 82, and 83, and showing them to counsel first, Your Honor. Yes, yes, sir. I'm going to start with the bags 1.75 through 1.79. Do you recognize those items?
I do.
When you create a report, do you document the report in a fashion to be able to subsequently recall which sample you received?
Yes, when evidence is submitted into a crime lab, it's given an item number. So the report will list all the items that were tested, as well as the reporting statements will reference the item number and the evidence that was tested.
Is it fair to say that sometimes there's many samples on a single case?
Correct.
And in this case, would it be fair to say there were more than one sample?
Yes, there were several samples.
Okay. And when you document those in the report, do you reference how they were received as well as how you document them yourself inside of the laboratory?
Yes,
Do they get individual item numbers for each submission?
yes,
And is that documented on the report that you generate?
yes,
Does that allow you to subsequently be able to be here in court and testify about what those particular items were?
yes,
And is that documented on the reports that you have in front of you?
yes.
Okay. I'm now going to ask you, are there initials on those exhibits you're looking at right now that you recognize?
Yes.
And what are those?
So the ways that I recognize this evidence is as referenced. There is my initials and date on the evidence when I closed it back up after I was finished testing. As well as when evidence enters the laboratory, we place a barcode on it. We maintain an electronic chain of custody. This barcode lists the Department of Forensic Science case number and the item number.
And are all of those in the same or similar condition to when you finished up your analysis in conjunction with this case?
Yes,
Do you recognize each of those 5 bags as in that condition?
yes,
At this time, I seek to tender States Exhibits 1.72, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I think the first 3 have already been admitted, but
My apologies, Your Honor.
75 and 6.
Thank
No
you.
objection to 7.5 and 6.
All right, they're admitted.
And may I? Thank you. Inside of each of these, if I may publish,
Yes, ma'am.
would it be fair to say that there are physical swabs inside of each of these that contain biological evidence?
which item numbers were those again?
Here, I'll give them back to you. My
Thank you.
apologies.
Yes.
I did not mean to confuse you.
Each of these does contain swabs.
And when I say biological evidence, would it be fair to say that blood is biological evidence?
Yes, it is.
As a general rule in court, would you prefer I not reopen biological samples?
It would probably be preferred.
Okay. And the reason I ask you that is this is not a sterile environment, right?
Correct. If evidence was opened in a non-sterile environment, then it could not be tested again in the future.
Okay. So those swabs, though, have they already been tested?
Yes, I tested them during both the blood examination and sent them forward to DNA testing.
Okay. So with respect to those 5 samples, do you know where those samples are from?
The items were listed, States Exhibit 1.76, 1.75, 1.77, and 1.78 were listed as coming from a living room floor, and States Exhibit 1.79 was from a living room wall.
And were you able to do a blood test on each of those swabs and the cuttings to determine if blood was present on each of those 5 swabs?
Yes.
And was there?
Yes, chemical examination of the floor swabbings and the den wall swabbing indicated the presence of blood.
So all of them had blood?
Correct.
Thank you. Now I'm showing you 1.81, 1.82, 1.83, and my apologies, 1.80 first. Do you recognize these 4 exhibits?
Yes.
What do you recognize those to be?
These exhibits are cuttings or swabbings that I took from the larger evidence items during my blood examination testing.
And did those cover different samples than what you just described as the floor and the wall blood swabs?
Yes.
What areas or what materials were you testing in those samples?
State's Exhibit 1.81 was cutting from clothing, namely panties and 2 tops. State's Exhibit 1.82 was cutting from a futon mattress padding. State's Exhibit 1.83 was cutting from a futon mattress cover. And State's Exhibit 1.80 was swabs of a blood stain from a container, contact DNA swabs from container handles, swab of a blood stain from a container, contact DNA swabs from the container handles, a general swab of a blood stain from a knife blade, contact DNA swabs from the knife handle and sheath.
And so you described earlier that when you receive a sample, would it be fair to say one of your first tests is to determine if there's actually DNA available to test? Or do you start with blood? What do you start with?
It depends on the case circumstances. If there's both a request for contact DNA, which could be from someone handling an object, as well as biological fluids, we perform both testing. I would look at an item, test it for the presence of blood, and regardless of whether or not I found blood, I would go ahead and test certain areas of the item for contact DNA.
So it's possible to have no blood present, but DNA present.
Correct.
Is it also possible that the blood itself is the DNA?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, did you ultimately test the substances that you just described for the jury in those additional exhibits?
I did.
Do you recognize those exhibits in their condition to have any of those indicative markings you've already described for us?
Yes, they all have the case barcode as well as my evidence seals on them.
At this time, I would seek to tender those exhibits as in evidence at this time.
Which specific exhibits are those exhibits?
This is Exhibit 1.80, 1.81, 1.82, and 1.83.
Any objection?
No objection to those. I will note that 1.77, 1.78, 1.79 have not been tendered as exhibits.
I have not.
My apologies. Are all of them in the same or substantially the same condition with those markings that you've described?
Yes.
I would seek to tender them all, Your Honor.
And all includes 1.77, 1.78, and 1.79, correct?
Yes.
No objection.
All right, they're admitted.
So if you could, can you tell the jury, when you receive an item of clothing that may be stained with blood, what do you do with it?
So during a blood examination, I first look at the evidence item to determine if there is an observed reddish-brown stain present that would be indicative of blood. I then take a small sampling of that stain, be it a swab with sterile water, as I previously described, or a small cutting of the stain, and I apply chemicals to it. We perform 2 different tests for blood at the GBI Crime Lab. These tests are color change tests. The chemicals start out colorless, and in the presence of blood, they will change to an expected color. One chemical changes from colorless to pink, and one changes from colorless to green. So if both of these chemicals change their expected colors of pink and green, then that would indicate the presence of blood. If only one of the chemicals changed to its expected color, that would be an inconclusive result. And if both chemicals stayed colorless, then it would fail to reveal the presence of blood.
And once you have the analysis, I believe you testified that it is blood, that's when you may submit it on for further analysis?
Correct.
Okay. If I may have those laboratory reports, please. Thank you. I'm going to go in the sequence of your testing. If I can. Thank you. Without the guide, I need to know where it is on the screen. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the members of the jury, on the far left margin here, do you see those numbers, 62, 62A, B, C, all of that?
Yes.
Would that be your documentation of those item numbers that you previously described to the jury?
Yes.
And is that your way of documenting this for your testimony as well?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the jury which items specifically you tested for blood and which ones of those had a positive result for blood?
So in this case report, I tested DOFS item 34, a knife, and item 36, which was clothing from a plastic bag, which included 36A, panties, 36B, a piece of a top, 36C, a piece of a shirt, 36D, a piece of a top. I also tested DOFS item 37, a gray storage container without a lid. DOFS item 38, a black storage container without a lid. And DOFS item 39, a gray lid.
Okay. And which of those items that you just described had the presence of blood on them?
Chemical examination of the panties, item 36A, the top, item 36B, the t-shirt, item 36C, the top, item 36D, the gray storage container, item 37, and the black storage container, item 38, indicated the presence of blood. And chemical examination of the general swabbings conducted on the knife blade, item 34, indicated the presence of blood. Chemical examination of the stains on the gray lid, item 39, failed to reveal the presence of blood.
So the only item that didn't show the presence of blood was that gray lid?
Correct.
Okay. And the totes themselves, you indicated you tested the gray tote and the black tote both, correct?
Correct.
And both of those appeared, or through your testing, demonstrated the presence of blood?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell the jury on a tote, and you could pass me 2 of the gloves over there.
Medium or large?
It doesn't matter. They're both big on me. Your Honor, I am referring to states 1.6 and 1.5. May she step down, Your Honor?
Sure.
I'm going to turn it just so that the jury can see as well. Counsel, if you need to reposition, by all means. Are there notes on here as to the exhibits?
Yes. When evidence is submitted to the lab, we need the evidence item to be identified with the agency case number, and contents of the item.
And would you be able to determine if this was the same exhibit that you tested, being a black or a gray tote, by looking at all of the markings on this exhibit?
Yes.
And are they, in fact, and I'm pointing to 1.5 and now additionally to 1.6?
Yes, these are the items that I tested.
Okay. And in the form of testing, you referenced a swab. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did you swab these specific totes?
Yes.
I'm going to pull out 1.5. Would it be fair to say that this is the black tote?
Yes.
And the other box then, is that the gray tote?
Yes.
Okay. And when you swabbed it, can you tell the jury exactly what you would physically do to go about doing that?
So in this case, I took out the item, I examined the item for the presence of any of that observed reddish-brown staining, which I did see. I then took a swabbing of that staining, tested it for blood using those 2 chemicals. It indicated the presence of blood. It had also been requested that there be contact DNA testing performed, as well as latent print examinations. So I swabbed the handles of the tote, trying to get the general palm area where somebody's might be pressed up against it while avoiding any areas that latent prints might find useful.
Okay. Is there a possibility of problems if you go out of sequence in terms of who tests what first?
Yes.
So is there a preferred procedure, meaning DNA first or fingerprint first?
Serological examination, so any of your biological fluids are tested prior to sending it to latent prints.
And why would that be?
Some of the chemicals and testing that latent prints uses in their examinations can interfere with our testing.
And is that the procedure that was followed here?
Yes.
Do you see that latent print? I mean, I know you don't do latent print analysis, but do you see that latent print dust on the exterior of this exhibit?
Yes, that's what that would appear to be.
That was not present when you did your testing, correct?
Correct.
So that would have come subsequent to your analysis?
Correct.
Okay, I thank you. Now, you can have a seat. I'm going to try and put this back. Just so we're clear, there had been some prior testimony that there's some different tape that's used by the crime laboratory than, for example, this red evidence tape. Which tape is your tape?
My tape is this red evidence tape you can see right here on the side with my initials right there.
Okay, so that would have been you reclosing this box after you completed?
Correct.
And do other divisions of the crime laboratory use different types of tape?
Yes, as that tape says impressions evidence on it, I would presume it was from the latents.
Okay. So different parts of the laboratory use different material tapes so that they can document that, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, without sounding perhaps like a silly question, if there was blood in your swabbing from inside of the tote, that was from the inside that you swabbed or the exterior?
The inside.
Did you swab the exterior?
The exterior, the handles were swabbed for contact DNA.
But any of the other portions on the exterior of the tote were not swabbed?
Correct.
Why not?
I didn't observe blood on the outside of the tote.
If you had seen a reddish-brown stain on the exterior, would you have also swabbed that?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, would it be fair to say you swabbed the areas that you made an observation of what could potentially be a biological fluid?
Correct.
Okay. And you indicated both the gray and the black tote had swabbings that revealed blood?
Correct.
Okay. Now, in addition to the totes, you referenced some clothing items. Can you tell us, with respect to those clothing items, I'm going to show you, I believe it's, if I may, Your Honor, I will have to go behind the witness. I'm handing the witness 1.15. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, State's Exhibit 1.15 is the clothing items that I tested in this case.
And would it be fair to say that those are the items that are on your report as 36A, B, C, and D?
Correct.
Okay. And did you process those similarly to how you just described?
Yes.
And those are the same items themselves here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, if there was a lid of a container that did not come into contact physically with, for example, in this case, the issue is the portion of somebody's human remains, how would DNA deposit on a substance? Can you explain that for the jury?
DNA can deposit on a substance either through contact DNA, skin cells, or through the biological fluid. So a biological fluid would have to come in contact with the item.
So if there was no physical contact, then DNA would not transfer?
A biological fluid would not transfer, yes.
Okay, so biological fluid, not transfer. Can you explain how friction of a cleansing wipe across the surface of, for example, a tote lid or handle might impact your ability to recover DNA?
So DNA, both skin cells and biological fluids, are a biological material. For instance, like food, they would degrade and break down over time. And depending on the circumstances, the conditions that that item has been left in, would depend on how quickly that DNA would be expected to break down or disappear from an item. If an item has been cleaned, wiped, if it has been left outside, exposed to UV light or rain or other elements of the weather, then this would cause the DNA to, if it was present, to break down and disappear faster.
Okay. And if you were to be told that some of the items in this case, for example, the tote was recovered in a condition where it was outside in a wooded area where there was precipitation and full exposure to the light, would that affect your ability or your likelihood to recover DNA?
Yes, it would.
And how would that have impacted it?
As I said, it would cause any DNA or biological material that was present to break down faster.
And would that be, for example, more likely or less likely with contact DNA versus blood?
It would be more likely with contact DNA simply because there's not as much of the genetic material, the biological material there, as there is with a biological fluid.
Now, with respect to the clothing itself, if somebody had been dismembered and bled while wearing their clothing, would that deposit potentially blood DNA for you to retrieve?
Yes, that'd be likely.
And if that clothing had been removed from the body and recovered subsequently, would that DNA still be present in the blood found in the stains?
Depending on how the clothing was exposed to any elements, then yes, it would be possible to get the DNA from the blood.
If it was in a black plastic garbage bag, would that have helped you recover blood DNA, preventing it from being exposed to those elements I just described?
Yes, as long as it's not exposed to too many of the external elements, then yes, it'd be more likely to get DNA from those items.
If it was unseasonably cool for that time of the year, would that also assist?
Yes.
Why?
Like any other biological material, keeping it cool, as you would in a refrigerator, will help to maintain the longevity of the material.
Now, with respect to the next laboratory report, this is 1.73. I'm referring to, again, this far margin side where it references 64, 65, 66. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. What samples were tested in conjunction with your May 24th, 2023 report?
I tested DOFS item 64, a cutting from a futon, DOFS item 65, batting from a futon, item 66, swabbing of a floor, item 67, swabbing a floor, item 68, swabbing a floor, item 69, swabbing a floor, item 70, swabbing of a den wall, and item 71, swabbing of northwest bedroom floor.
Okay. And I know you already testified that those samples, being the floor and the wall sample, were in fact a presence of blood. Were any additional samples the presence of blood other than those?
Not in this report, no.
What about the futon batting and the futon cover?
I apologize, I thought you had mentioned those. The chemical examination of the futon mattress cover, the futon batting, the swabs from the floor, and the swabs of the den wall indicated the presence of blood, and the swabbing of the northwest bedroom floor failed to reveal the presence of blood.
So would it be fair to say a swab was submitted that could have been blood, but after you tested it, it just wasn't?
Correct.
Okay. Is that sometimes the case?
Yes.
Officers will submit items to the laboratory for analysis, and you just determine whether it is or it isn't, right?
Correct.
There's no favor or benefit when you do your analysis, it's chemical, correct?
Yes.
Now, with those items that were recovered and tested, you also documented this separately, is that right?
Yes.
Do you do it close in time to when you're actually performing the analysis?
Yes.
And if you had done different stages or received submissions at different times, would that be an indication as to why there's more than one report?
Correct.
Okay. So did you receive all the items in this case all at the same time?
No.
Okay. Was that over a period of time?
Yes.
Okay. So just so we're clear for the record, I don't know if you can see that date up there. Can you see that date for this first report, 1.72?
Yes.
What date was that?
Well, the report was issued on May 4th of 2023. The evidence, including the knife, clothing, and storage containers and lid, were submitted to the lab on January 6th of 2023.
Okay. And why the delay?
Other processing had to take place on the items before I received them for my testing.
Okay. Did the lab have to process them in as well and receive them?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second report we said, I believe, is that referenced in 1.73?
Yes,
The date?
the report date is May 24th, 2023, and the evidence, the cutting and batting from the futon, the swabs from the floor, and the swabs from the wall were submitted to the lab on May 17th, 2023.
Okay. And now with respect to DNA analysis, can you tell us, when you received this case, had any DNA analysis been done by a different technician than yourself?
Yes.
What had been done and by whom?
The testing of the bloodstain cards labeled head, right leg, left leg, torso, and torso spleen had been tested by forensic biologist Michelle Shepard in order to ensure that all of the body items were related to each other. And she also did a parentage request in order to identify the body.
And those happened independent and before you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And subsequently, were you able to simply document that on your report as having happened?
Yes.
Okay. Did you rely on that as well, simply to do the documentation portion?
Yes, and I used her testing, the DNA profiles that she had obtained from her testing, as a known reference sample for comparison to the evidence items that I was testing.
Okay. And what items did you compare her testing that reflected it was Mindi Kassotis to the items that you had?
For DNA testing, I tested a swabbing of a blood stain from the gray storage container, contact DNA swabs of the handles from the gray storage container, swabbing of blood stain from the black storage container, contact DNA swabbings of the handles on the black storage container, the general swabbing of the knife blade, and contact DNA swabbings of the knife handle and sheath. I also tested the cutting from the futon.
So I'd like to start with the storage container, that being item 37, the gray tote. Were you able to compare and recover DNA from that storage container?
Yes.
What were your findings?
The DNA obtained from the swab of the blood stain on the gray storage container contained the DNA profile of one individual, matching the profile of Mindi Kassotis.
Okay. You said one profile. Is that always the case?
No, there can be what are called mixture profiles where there's two or more individuals that have contributed to a DNA mixture.
And when you say that it matched the profile, do you also do frequency when it comes to that?
Yes.
And what was the frequency with respect to the comparison of her DNA on the gray tote, the known sample versus the swabbing from the gray tote itself?
So the frequency in which the DNA profile obtained from the swab of the blood stain on the storage container, the gray storage container, item DOFS item 37, is approximately 1 in 300 septillion. And for reference, it goes million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion.
Okay. There are 3 zeros for each of those, right?
Yes, septillion would be a 1 followed by
I think we heard testimony earlier. It's okay.
24 zeros.
Okay. And at that time, did you also compare that known sample to something else that you found to be analysis that you were able to render?
Yes, I performed a comparison to the swab from the futon mattress cover.
And what were your findings?
The DNA obtained from the swab from the futon mattress cover contained the DNA profiles of at least 2 individuals, the major DNA profile matching the profile of Mindi Kassotis, and the frequency of which that DNA profile would be expected to be seen in the general population is approximately 1 in 300 septillion. And due to limited data, a partial low-level DNA profile, no conclusive determination could be made as to the donor of the remaining DNA profile obtained from the swab from the futon mattress cover.
Now, you said that there are oftentimes mixtures, is that correct?
Yes.
Given that this was a futon mattress cover, one would presume that people sit on that, correct?
Correct.
Would the fact that another resident of the dwelling sat on the same futon potentially deposit DNA?
Yes.
So, do you have any way of knowing who that second DNA sample could have been?
No, I could draw no conclusions to that.
Okay, so if this was an Airbnb that had been inhabited over a several-month period, would that further complicate the ability to figure out who that second DNA low-level contributor might be?
Yes, it could if multiple individuals have come in contact with the item.
When you have more than one person that can potentially come into contact, what do you do to try and limit or make any findings?
Within the case, we can request the known reference samples for any other involved individuals or any elimination individuals, anybody that was known to come in contact with the item. And at that point, we could attempt to make a comparison.
In an Airbnb, if there had been numerous residents over a period of time, would that be difficult to accomplish?
That would likely be difficult.
Now, with respect to item number, well, let me ask one also other question. If I was a resident in the dwelling, and let me withdraw that. If the allegation is that Mr. Kassotis was present inside of a residence along with Mrs. Mindi Kassotis, would it be unusual to find his own DNA on that same futon?
No, a person's DNA is likely to be on something that they come in contact with on a general basis.
Thank you. Would you have been able to tell potentially if that DNA was the blood versus some other type of DNA, meaning cellular?
Within these profiles, since there was the presence of blood and the testing was taken directly from the bloodstains themselves, it is likely, based on the fact that a full profile was obtained, that that DNA profile was from the blood, but it is also possible that there are skin cells or other biological materials that are also contributing.
And now, with respect to the black tote, that being item 38, and 63D, the handles, and 34, the knife, and then the sheath of the knife, can you tell us what your findings were on that?
PCR amplification procedures, so complete DNA testing, was not performed on item 63C, the swab of the blood stain on the black storage container, item 38. Item 36D, the contact DNA swabs of handles on the black storage container, item 38. Item 63E, the general swab of the blood stain of the knife blade, item 34. And item 63F, the contact DNA swabs of the knife handle and sheath, item 34, due to an insufficient amount of DNA detected. What this means is that human DNA was detected. It was not enough DNA for us to move forward with our testing. At low levels of DNA, we would not expect to be able to obtain a usable DNA profile from our testing.
So there just wasn't enough DNA there.
Correct.
And with respect to, I believe you said item 37, did you include that, the gray tote handles?
The PCR amplification procedures were not performed on item 63B, the contact DNA swabs of the handles on the gray storage container, due to the absence of quantifiable DNA. So in that case, there was no DNA detected.
So there was no DNA at all on the gray handles?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you've discussed the sufficiency, meaning having enough of it. Can you tell us, does DNA have a timestamp? Can you determine when DNA was deposited somewhere?
I cannot tell when DNA has been deposited somewhere or how fresh a stain is. However, like all biological material, the longer that a biological fluid or DNA sits on an item and is exposed to external elements, it will begin to degrade, and you would not see a complete DNA profile.
So would it go from first full profile available to potentially a less capable profile, meaning not as complete, and then potentially gone completely?
Correct.
Okay. And also, you, I believe, just testified, you can't tell when it's deposited either?
Correct.
Just one moment. I have nothing further.
Mr. Weinstein?
Thank you. Good morning,
Good
Ms.
morning.
Ransom. I'm assuming it's still morning. I didn't check before I came up here. My name is Doug Weinstein. I represent Mr. Kassotis in this case. Well, hello to you too. I just have a few questions for you. Regarding State's Exhibit 1.24, that is your June 26 report, your DNA analysis. There was a discussion regarding, with the state, regarding that 2 individuals' DNA profiles were found on the swab from the futon mattress cover. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the individuals you identify as Mindi Kassotis,
Correct.
and the other individual you did not identify, correct?
Correct.
Can you see that? You can see that?
Yes.
Of course, I don't know what we're seeing, so I can't.
You're welcome to look.
Thank you.
Would you like me to turn it?
No, it's okay. Thank you. Can you see this portion here where it says it may be possible to draw conclusions?
Yes, I can.
Would you read that can you read that paragraph?
Yes, it may be possible to draw conclusions on all contributors from item 72, swab from futon mattress cover, item 64, utilizing TrueAllele casework software. Please contact a forensic biology manager to discuss TrueAllele casework software analysis on item 72, swab from futon mattress cover, item 64. Adequate known reference samples from the subject and an elimination individual will need to be submitted.
Did you write that paragraph?
Yes.
Can you explain that in more plain English about what you were requesting?
So TrueAllele is a computer software program that aids in the interpretation of complex DNA mixtures, partial degraded DNA mixtures, and it simply aids with, in this case, where I had a minor profile that I could not draw any conclusions to, it would be able to assist with drawing conclusions. But in order to use TrueAllele, you would need known reference samples from any person who potentially could have contributed DNA to that item.
Do you know if the TrueAllele casework software was ever used, if your request was ever followed up on?
No, it was not requested.
Do you have to pay to use, does the GBI Crime Lab, do you have to pay money to use the TrueAllele software?
No,
Okay. So it wasn't a budgetary issue that would have prevented that from being performed, correct?
correct.
With respect to States Exhibit 1.73, which is the May 24th, 2023 report, you received packages containing, I guess, 4 different floor samples as well as a sample from the den wall, correct?
Correct. 5 floor samples, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, five floor samples? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. There was an additional 4 of the samples were from something just labeled as floor. There was a 5th sample labeled bedroom floor.
Correct.
With respect to the 4 samples from the floor and the den wall, do you know if they were submitted for DNA testing?
They were.
They were. Okay. And do you know what the results were?
I did not perform DNA testing on them because all of those items had been indicated as coming from the same location. So I chose one item to begin with.
Okay. And which item was that?
I performed testing on the swab from the futon mattress cover, item 64, which was the cutting from the futon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was inartful in my question. As far as the floor samples, what's labeled in this report, let me put this here. What's labeled in this report as sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, and sample 4. Those 4 floor samples. Did you perform DNA testing on those?
I did not.
Did anyone, as far as you know, perform DNA testing on those 4 floor samples?
No.
And what about sample 5, the den wall? Did you perform DNA testing on the den wall sample?
No, I did not.
As far as you know, did anyone perform DNA testing on the wall sample?
No.
Court's indulgence for just a moment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything already, right?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You're excused.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, ma'am. I've got 12:20, so if you would come back at 1:30, a little over an hour. Thank you.